Hey, welcome. In this video lecture I'm going to show you about the functions in PHP. Okay, so PHP functions is a piece of code that can be reused many times. It can take input as argument list and return value. There are thousands of built-in functions in PHP. In PHP we can define conditional function, functions within functions, and recursive functions also. So first is built-in functions and second is PHP user-defined functions. PHP built-in functions. Built-in functions are functions that exist in PHP installation package. These built-in functions are what make PHP a very efficient and productive scripting language. PHP has a huge collection of internal or built-in functions that you can call directly within your PHP script to perform a specific task, like strlen function, that function, getType function, print underscore r function, var underscore dump function, which we used in our previous video, and mysqli underscore connect function, etc. There are lots of functions in PHP installation package. And second is PHP user-defined functions. PHP also allows you to define your own functions. It is a way to create reusable code packages that perform specific tasks and can be kept and maintained separately from main program. So let's see the syntax to declare user-defined functions and types also. PHP user-defined functions. First is user-defined function, second is function with arguments, and third is functions with default argument value, and fourth is returning value from a function. These all four functions are PHP user-defined functions. In this four way we can define a function in PHP. Okay. So first is user-defined functions. How can we define? Let's see the syntax. You can see here the syntax of user-defined function and then function name and open and close brace, and in open and close brace we can keep our code to be executed, and then function from function name we can calling this function. We can call this function from this function name. Okay. So we will see in practical section how can we write code for functions. So let's see for another. Function with arguments. Syntax. You can see here function and function name is myfunc, myfunc, and in function myfunc I declared two parameters here, one parameter and another parameter. Okay, and open and close brace we can write code to be executed, and we can call this function like this way. So the next, function with default argument value. We can see the function with default argument value here. We define a function which name is myfunc and define a variable, $variable in this function, which value we give 50, which is default. Okay, and we can echo inside the open and close brace the age is and a variable name. But when we call this function, here I call this function two times. First thing, calling this function with argument, as argument I give value 35, and second time calling I doesn't give any argument value. It means it takes default value 50. Okay, so we will see in the practical section how can we do this. So the fourth is returning values from a function. Syntax. You can see here a function which name is myfunc and a variable 1 and a variable 2 here, and in a variable 3 I add both the variable 1 and variable 2 and return a variable 3, and I echo my function for the calling and pass two arguments 15 and 10 for variable 1 and variable 2. Okay, So let's go for the practical. So I already created a file which name is function.php for learning the functions. Okay, so here are 4 types of user-defined functions. First is user-defined function, second is function with arguments, and third is function with default argument value, and fourth is returning value from a function. So let's see the first user-defined function. How can we define a function, a basic function in PHP 7? Simple, a keyword function and function name, and simply we can echo this is my function in PHP. Okay, let's save. But nothing on the browser. Why? Because we declare only a function and we echo a string. This is my function in PHP, but we doesn't call this function. First we need to call this function to print this line on the browser. So how can we call? Simple, with function name. I can write a function name here, and this we can terminate from a semicolon. And now go for save. Simple. You can see here this is my function in PHP. So this is the way we can create, we can declare a function, we can write a function in PHP. So this is a user-defined function. Now we are going to talk about functions with argument. So comment this section. And function with arguments, how can we use? Simple, we can define a variable here. $name, and we can echo this $name here, and we can just call this function like this way. Okay, but nothing will be print. Uncut argument count error. Okay, you can see here there are lots of errors. So why its error is showing in the browser? Because we need to pass an argument in this function. Okay, so for example I can pass my name here, and let's save. Yes, you can see here I pass an argument in a form of a string. This will go in this variable, and this variable we can show from echo statement on the browser. Okay, let's see another. For example, age. We can pass multiple argument or parameters and functions. For example, I can give here country. So my name is, and I concatenate the variable here, and my name is Faizan, and age is simply I just showing a way how can we use multiple parameters in function. So don't be confused. My name is Faizan, here will be print my name is Faizan, and age is which I will pass from here, and after, and I live in, and I can pass this country variable here. Okay, but what will be print? Let's save. Again error. Why? Because here I pass 3 parameters, so I need to pass 3 arguments in functions when I call this function. Okay, so I can pass here, for example, age and country India. So let's save. You can see here I think I need give some space. And here also I need to give some space. I think you got it. You can see here my name is my variable, and age is again variable argument which I pass for age, and the country India which I pass for variable country. So this is a function with arguments we can use in our program and projects in PHP. Okay, so let's go for the next, functions with default arguments. Simple function myfunc $variable, and I give a value 25. Simple echo $v. Let's save. What will happen? But first I need to comment this section. Let's save. Nothing to print here because we need to call our function. So myfunc okay, let's save. 25. If I give here $56, then what will happen? 56. So okay, you can see here I assign a value for variable 25. Here in first calling function I doesn't provide any argument. Okay, if I comment this line, it will print, when I save it will print 25 because it takes default argument value which I declare in this function is 25. Okay, and in second time calling of function, if I pass some argument like 56, it will take 56 instead of 25. Let's save. You can see here both the values. First is default argument value and second is argument value which I pass at the time of calling the function here. Okay, so this is the concept of function with default argument values. So the next is returning value from a function. So first comment is for understanding, for avoid the bugging code. Simply paste here a function myfunc, and here I can give two variable $x and $y, and here I can declare a variable which name will be z and equal to $x. For example, I am going to addition of two variable. Okay, and I want to echo this variable. Okay, so I can pass two values 25 and 30 as an argument at the time of calling the function. Okay, let's save. Okay, undefined variable y. Variable are case sensitive, that's why I need to take a small alphabet. So again let's save. 55, yes, you can see here. Okay, if I take this value in a variable, for example variable abc, and I echo variable abc plus 1, then what should be the result? Understand this concept. If I take this function value, for example 55, in this variable abc and echo this abc variable and plus 1, so let's see what will be the result. Oh, you can see here it should be 56, but here the result is 551. Okay, why? Because when we echo a variable value, it treats as a string. So that's why we use return keyword, because in a return keyword we can define, we can know the data types also. Okay, for example if I return the value here, then save, the result should be 56, because now it is treated as a integer now. Okay, but if I use echo here, it is treated as a string now. That's why the result is changes when we echo. Okay, so this is the concept of return, and that is why we use return in functions. Okay, you can see there, if I use echo, it will treat it as a string. Let's save. $551 means 555, this value is 55, and it concatenate 1, this one, not 8, that's why it's showing 551. Okay, or if we use return here, it is treated as integer, because it is integer value. 25 and 30 is integer value, then it will show the result 56. Let's save. Yes, you can see here. I hope you will got it, what I am saying, and you should practice for the code for more understanding. So if you have any doubt, any problem, you can ask me a question, and so see you in next video.